You can understand why, when we first heard about this stuff and we heard, well, maybe it's things like a note from Kim Jong-un to President Trump that he wanted to keep his hands on. But then, if true, this Washington Post report, highly classified documents at Mar-a-Lago that only a cabinet level officer or higher could even look at, that doesn't seem like the kind of thing you should have in your post-presidential desk drawer.
Well, let's break this down. First of all, again, we really don't know, because let's go back and understand that all of this information is coming from one side and one place, and that is sources with knowledge of the investigation. Well, who are the sources with knowledge of the investigation? The FBI and the Justice Department, and they are leaking to the media. So generally, when there's an investigation by the FBI or Justice Department, they're not even acknowledging there is an investigation, much less leaking. These people every single day are strategically leaking information that can't be rebutted, by the way, or in any way analyzed, for a reason, and that's politics, to influence the narrative. And so I'm, first of all, very skeptical of that. I also, the whole thing about only cabinet officials could know, that's not the way classification works. Classification is based on both the compartment, the way it's classified, at what level, and then the need-to-know basis. The third thing I would say is that, as a member of the Gang of Eight, which is the 8 officials in Congress with insight to intelligence, we're read into all kinds of things, all the time. Never once were we ever approached and told there is this massive brewing counterintelligence threat to the United States, and we want to make you aware of it. And finally, if you read the pleadings and the documents filed by the government themselves, and granted, they are heavily redacted, so not even have we seen what's in the redaction, but what you see in there is very early on, the government sent a letter to Trump's lawyer basically saying, we think you are in possession of X number of boxes. It didn't say immediately return those to us. It said, please store them somewhere where they're safe behind lock and key and the like. So if it was really that sort of an urgent problem, why didn't they immediately demand their return? Why didn't they come to the Gang of Eight or the Intelligence Committee heads and say, look, we've got this major problem on our hands? Instead, what we get is these constant leaks, and the only reason to leak to the media is to influence the narrative, which tells you this is being politicized, which is doing damage to the FBI, the Justice Department, to important institutions to our country.
So in the article, it says that